Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Planet Coaster We Create series. This is episode 2, and if you remember in the first episode, we went ahead and we created a wooden coaster. And basically, if you don't remember, the basis of this series is we're going to go through all these various coasters and some of the track rides, and we're going to create a coaster of each type, and we're going to create the coaster until we get it right, until we get all three areas, the excitement, the fear, and the nausea, all in green ratings. So we were able to do that in the very first episode with the wooden coaster. So this time, I think what we're going to do is we are going to try the Giga Rage coaster. 'Cause why not? This coaster looks pretty fun. So let's go ahead and zoom in, and somewhere around here looks pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and raise our station up just a bit. About there looks pretty good. Okay. Alright. So there's the beginning of our Giga Rage coaster. What we're going to do is we're just going to extend the station just a little bit. We're going to do entry on the right and exit on the left, just like that. We're going to add a few more station blocks just so we can get a little bit of a bigger coaster, possibly 2 or more cars on the track. Alright, so we've got that started. Now, let's go ahead into our track pieces here. Alright. So this one does not invert, I believe. It does, however, do some of these cool non-inverted things. But we will probably just go ahead and do what we want anyway. So it's got all the trim brakes, the friction brakes, drive tires, as well as the chain and the regular track. So let's go ahead and begin our track. I'm going to go ahead and shorten up the beginning here, just like that. And we're going to have it start by going right down to the ground level, just like that. Okay. Do that, and then we're going to have it go almost vertically straight up on a chain lift. We're going to set our chain speed up to the maximum of 14, just so the track goes by a little bit quicker. I like to do that, as you might remember if you watched the first episode. We're just going to go almost completely vertical here. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to level off. We're going to extend that piece out a bit, just to get it almost completely level. Add that, just like so. Alright. Now we're going to have it slope down on one more chain piece. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and go into the first drop. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and click our station. Now when you have the station selected, you'll notice over here to the right under Utilities, you can actually choose the entry and exit speeds. This will determine how fast your car can go in and out of the station. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to bump up the entry speed just to about 15. We'll do 14. We'll keep it consistent with our chain lift. So it's going to leave at 14, go down this little hill, go up the chain lift at a speed of 14, and then it's going to go ahead and get to the top, have it right around 37 meters, and that's where we're going to start our first drop. So I kind of want to do almost a double dip kind of hill here. So we're going to go ahead and we'll go down slightly. We're going to dip out a little bit, and then we're going to go back down again, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to level off basically to where the ground is. Let's see if I can shorten that up a little bit, raise it. I may have gone a little bit too far. Yeah, okay, I did. So let's go ahead and just shorten that up a little bit more. Yeah, somewhere around there. So we'll shorten that up and drop that down to the ground level, like so. Alright. Let's just go ahead and run a test train while we're looking at things, just to see how that starts there. It comes out, goes up. Let's see how it does on this double dip area here. That's kind of what I'm focused on. Okay, that was pretty cool. Dig it. Let's go ahead and keep this. Well, you know what, maybe we'll go into a second hill. I'm trying to think of what I want the profile of the coaster to look like. I think what we'll do is we'll go out, we'll do some sort of turning, and we'll come back and we'll almost mimic this same hill structure that we've got here. That way it has an interesting profile to it. So let's go ahead and smoothly go uphill. I think what we'll do is we'll do a slight double up as well. That's going to just give it a little bit more interest on the hill than it might otherwise. And we'll extend that out just a little. Okay. So the first one is 37 high. So this one pretty much needs to be no higher than, I would say, 27 or so. You don't want to go too high because it could end up, you know, not making it up to the top, which we definitely don't want. So let's go ahead and start cresting the hill here just to make it a little smoother. Something kind of like that is what I'm looking for. A nice smooth second hill. And we'll come down. Maybe we'll even throw another double dip in. So we'll kind of dip down quick like that, and then out, and then down again. Yeah, something kind of like that. We'll flatten that out. So we've got a bunch of little dips going on here, and I kind of like that for this track. This one, the second one on this hill, might be just a little too extreme. Let's throw a start test in there, and we'll just kind of get a quick idea to see how this one does on these dips. I do like the idea of the dips. That definitely adds some excitement with not too much fear if you do it right. So we can watch our live test over here. So that was pretty good. Dipped up, that was pretty good. Crest the hill nicely into a few dips. Okay. That was pretty good, The one thing I didn't really care for was this second downhill part right here. So I think once we do this dip down like that, I think we're going to smooth out a little bit quicker. Let's see how that looks. Not loving that either. I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll extend this down a bit more. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. Much better. Okay. That I like. Let's go ahead and change our lighting back to morning, just because it's starting to get a little bit dark and we don't have any lights or anything set up. I like the way these supports are looking. These are pretty interesting as well. It kind of almost has the profile of kind of like a big dinosaur, like a brontosaurus kind of style. I think that's pretty neat. So I don't believe this one can invert. Let me just go ahead and check that just to make sure. Giga Rage cannot invert. Okay, so we were right. This cannot invert. I wonder how much turn we can get. So we can go 90 degrees. I guess which is standard for a track that can't invert. Okay. So maybe we'll do some sort of overbank curve. These things are always interesting. I mean, how are you even going to use that? That's the smallest it goes. You would have to make a gigantic hill drop for it to get up there. That's so weird. I don't like to use a lot of these pre-made things anyway. The overbank curves are pretty neat. I do like their overbank curves. And if you look here, I mean, they almost go completely 90. Even it almost looks like it's even past 90 a little bit at the top there. Those are always pretty cool, but for the sake of this, we're just going to build all of our own stuff because that's the way we do things here. So we're going to have a good bit of speed coming here. And we're going to basically build our own overbank curve. I do like doing the overbank curve, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start out by maybe I'll bring that back to 0 and I'll turn on a little bit of angle snap just to give us a little more. Alright, angle snap, and we'll turn it down 11.25. That's kind of a strange number to snap at. Alright, we'll roll with that. So we'll go 11.25 just to start. We'll keep this fairly long because we're going to be having some speed here. And we'll just start to turn it and bring it up just a little. Alright, so we've got that. Now let's turn it again and let's shorten this track up now. Alright, so that looks pretty neat. So let's go ahead with that. We'll do another turn. I'm just going to slowly, I'm even going to drop this down just a little. No. Well, let's go ahead and turn angle snap off and then bring it down a little. Just like that. Okay. Let's turn it back on and we'll turn it once more to 45. And then we'll go again with that. And we'll turn it to 50. I'm just kind of bumping it up one more turn for each way we're going here. Just because I think that's neat. Let's shorten it up even more. And then we're going to go to a 90. And that's as full as we can get. So we want that to be our flat piece right there. So we're going to do one flat piece. Let's actually delete that. Since this is the flat piece, let's go ahead and just make it a little bit longer. Just like that. Alright, and we're basically going to mimic what we did on the other side to some extent. It doesn't have to be exact. So we're going to bring it down one. And we're just going to bring it, turn angle snap back off, and slightly, very slightly lower now. Okay. So I wonder if I can click this and see what exactly my angle was here. Oh well, it doesn't have to be perfect. So let's see what kind of... Alright, so I want to really loop this back around. Almost helix it down in a kind of way. So we're going to just cut this a little bit more tightly here. Lower it just a bit more. Get our angle snap back on. And we're going to go back to 67. Do the same thing, 56. Back one more to 45. We're going to cut the turn even more here. 33. We're going to cut the turn even more. 22. Alright, now I think what we want to do here is we want to start to almost go straight. So we're going to cut this down. We're going to continue to go down just a little bit more. Yeah, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to end up going straight here. We're going to turn our angle snap back off. We're going to flatten up just a bit. Go a little bit longer, just like that. Alright, so let's see where we're ending up here. I kind of like this. This is kind of neat. We're going to go ahead and shorten this back up a little bit. Shorten. Yep, thank you. Make you go back to straight. Get you back to 0. Alright, so that's perfectly straight with a slight downhill. Now what I want to do is I want to just turn us back around, shorten up just a little, flatten up just like that. We're going to go ahead and bank harder now and start to pull it back this way, back into around a 40. I'm going to go ahead right back here. We're almost at ground level. We're going to bank hard. Just like that, and we're going to extend out. Now that's going to get us on a similar line that we had our original track on. Just like that. And we're going to bring our angle just back a little more, down to about 36. That looks pretty good. Just extend us out a little more. Okay. Alright. So our goal here is to kind of get back in the same line that we had originally. So we're going to go almost flat, just a little bit more of a bank, just a tiny bit. Get that there. Shorten our track back and get it back to 0. And just shorten up, shorten up. Alright. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back uphill. I want this to almost mimic what we did in bringing it out. So this is going to be a little bit longer of a track. I wonder if we should throw a block break section into this one, or if we should just have a longer station so we could get more cars. Because if this is going to be a little bit of a longer ride, we're going to want to make sure that we can get a few more cars on the track. I think we'll just go ahead and stick with making the station longer instead of using the blocked section. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll get this hill slightly built here. So we're going to extend this out so it can be fairly smooth. Something to that effect. Just up a little bit more. Alright. Now let's start to level off. That should give a little bit of air time there. We're going to kind of try and mimic that same hill, just slightly lower. Am I going too crooked? Yes, I am. Alright, we're going to have to bring that back. I'm going too crooked for my liking. Alright, so let's go ahead and zoom in here and try to get a better line. Nope. Nope, gonna have to go back again and just extend that out more. Somewhere like that. Alright. So then let's shorten this up. Go ahead and get that back down to about a 10 or so. And then angle that back over. Alright. Just shorten that a little more. And then get back to the center at 0. Alright, I think we're on a better line here. Let me just see. It's still got a little... Still has a little bit of a turn here, so let's just angle it just a bit more. Yeah, that's better. That's a bit better. Okay, so we want to go there, back to 0, just right around there. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm being a little bit too much perfection here, but okay, so that's straight. So let's go ahead with our uphill, nice and smooth, a little higher. Flatten off at the top. Let's just bring this in a bit and then slope over. So it's almost following that same hill pattern, right? Now I do want to do another double dip here. Since that seems to be our theme, we're going to kind of continue that theme here. So we're going to dip out and then dip back down, just like that, and then slowly start to extend the hill into our down. Okay, nice. Yeah, just like that. Alright, so you see how that very closely mimics that hill? That's kind of what I had in mind for this. I'm not super sure about our overbanked turn. This is kind of a long, extended, twisting overbanked turn. It's not your typical overbanked turn, but it is fairly interesting. So let's go ahead and test this just to see where we're at in the realm of things here. So okay, here we come down. They're liking that double dip. Cresting the top of the second hill and coming into our overbanked turn here. Alright, gliding through that pretty nicely. Alright. Alright, I'm liking that so far. Up and over into our little double dip. Alright. Alright, I think we're looking pretty good. Looking pretty good here. So what I want to do is I want to do another similar hill. What kind of hill are we going to do? I guess we'll go ahead and we'll do another hill that sort of mimics this hill, and then we'll do a few bumps and twists around to get us back to the station. I think that should be pretty good. We may hit this on our first try here, as long as we keep up our nice coaster action. So let's go ahead and extend that and just bring it up a touch, just like that. Right, just bring it up a little bit more, and then we'll bring it down just to give us a little airtime pop right there. Bring that back down, and then we're gonna extend this. Can I extend that out more? Alright, that's fine. And then we're just going to go back up like that, and then crest over right around here, and then crest back down, cresting back, and now we're going to pull in our second double dip action, right? But we're going to do a reverse dip here. We're going to dip down like that, and then we're going to pull this up and around. So we're almost going to do a reversed dip. We'll see how that works. That may, like I said, that may be just a little bit too extreme. Let's see, they're going to pop over this little hill just to give them a little fling out of their seat. I like how it kind of counteracts the other coaster in the background. That side's dipping down and this side's dipping up. I do kind of like that. And then go back up to mimic our hill, and then we cut down. So it's going to pop over, they're going to cut down a little bit and be pushed into their seat as they get to this point. Right? So maybe we could even, I'm not sure if we have enough room to dive under that station. Let's go ahead and just go up slightly with a little bit of a turn, right? With a little bit of a push in, and see if we can just cut right under this station. That would be pretty neat. I haven't really thought about that. Oh yeah, cool. I like that. Alright, so we're just going to go up a little bit. And we're going to bank even harder. Yeah, cool. Right, so let's extend this out a bit. Something similar to that. Alright, that's pretty neat. Pretty neat. So let's go ahead and shorten this up, because I do want to go ahead and try to bring this back. We're not going to have a ton of speed in this area, so we can pull off a little bit more of these twists that you wouldn't commonly see if you're going a lot faster. This will kind of just fling you around a little bit, which will be a neat little ending aspect. So just do some hard banks just to dip back around in there, just kind of like that. Alright, I do want to extend our station just one more piece. So what did we have here? Exit, or entry right, exit left. Yeah, let's go ahead and just throw one more piece on there, just like that. Alright, now this is going to have to really come out here. Well, maybe, let's see. Let's shorten this back up and we'll extend it out this way a little more. Yeah, I kind of like that. And we'll take some of that bank out. Right? And then we'll bring it up. And we'll start to bring it towards our station. We'll give it a little more bank as we do that. This is much too large. We'll shorten that. And we will push it in this way. Kind of like that. Not quite the right angle here. Bring it in more. Let's see, that's at 7. We're probably approaching 7. We'll bring it down a little. Like that. And we will flatten this out a little bit more. Shorten that down. I don't want to just put it right to the station just yet. I want to kind of have it go up and then bump down right at the end. Yeah, just like that. Alright, I think that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and give that a test and we'll see what we do. We'll see what we get. I'm liking what we got here. So here's where you can turn on your track markers, by the way. Relative to terrain, relative to sea level, or off. I like to keep those on while I'm building. We can turn them off for now just so we can see a little bit better. Alright, going through our second hill here. Pretty neat. Chugging through our big overbank turn. It does go through that just a mite slow, but I think we're pretty good on that. Everything doesn't have to be about speed. We'll crest over this little mimicked hill, get a little double dip. Alright, little airtime hill into our crest with our inverted double. Alright, neat. Under the station, and then curving through our final curves and bumps right there. Alright, I think that was pretty good. Let's see what we got. Come on, big money. Give us greens. Yeah, look at that, guys. Look at that. Very first time. 6.92 in excitement, 4.2 in fear, and 1.95 in nausea. That is a pretty cool coaster. I kind of like that. I actually really like that. Alright, that is pretty neat. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the test. Going to go ahead and get the cinematic set up for you guys, and after that, we will go ahead and be right back. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that little cinematic that I put together for you to check out the different little angles of the coaster and everything that we just made. So let's just go ahead into our operations here and just kind of check. So okay, we can't, I guess the most we can do is 9 cars per train. So that's going to have to retest at 9 cars per train, because I do want to be able to get 2 trains on here. That may slightly affect our ratings. I'm sure it won't be by very much, but we'll just go ahead and run that through again just to make sure everything stayed in the green, because that is our main goal. If we have to cut it back down to 1, we could always do that, but I'd like to run at least 2 trains on a track this long. That way we can get everything, the queue kind of emptied out a little bit quicker than we normally would otherwise. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to wait for at least a 3/4 load. We're going to have no minimum wait time. We're going to do max wait time at, I would say, 30. We'll do about 35 seconds on the max wait time. Or actually, max wait time, let's change this to be 60. Let's make it 60. 60. Thank you. Testing. Okay, so everything basically stayed the same. I think excitement actually went up by 0.01, and I think nausea went up by 0.03 or something like that, and it looked like fear stayed the same, so even better. Alright. So that is pretty cool. So one thing we're going to want to do is name it. I think we will call this Coastosaurus. There we go. Because we mentioned earlier that it kind of looks like it's a dinosaur from this side. Some sort of dinosaur looking kind of thing. So we'll just call it Coastosaurus. Alright, pretty cool. Alright guys, well I guess that's going to do it for this episode. It didn't take us too long to achieve our goal. That was with the Giga Rage coaster, and it turned out pretty cool, I think. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and after the episode's done and everything, I'll go and save it and upload it to my Steam workshop. So if you want to download the coaster and put it into your own park, feel free to do so. And thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to click the like button if you like the video, give me a comment, and subscribe so you know when new videos to the channel come out. I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with a point of view so we can finally ride the coaster and see what it looks like. And I'll check you guys next time. Thanks.